I'm waiting on.
Get on the stage.
Oh, my goddamn pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, make noise, you're sacrificial long evening. This is Joe fucking Ennis.
So, I don't know if you guys saw the news recently, but Snoop Dogg has changed his name to Snoop Lion. When asked about an interview, he said he did this because he has always felt that he's the reincarnated version of Bob Marley. Now, when most people say that they're the reincarnation of somebody famous, I immediately think they're full of shit and they're retarded. But I believe Snoop. Here's why. When this happened, he would have been about 10 years old. That's not reincarnation. He got fucking possessed by a dead reggae singer. That's not some shit that you just fucking forget. So, as you guys can tell by my appearance, I recently got arrested, spent a year in jail. Now, me getting arrested was bullshit, because the charges were possession with intent to distribute. Look, the possession, they got me dead to rights. But intent to distribute? Come on. My only intent there was to get high as fuck, and then stay that way. Yeah, I spent a whole year locked up, and strangely enough, like, the hardest part about spending a year in jail wasn't, being away from my friends, my family, wasn't the shitty food, the anal rapings, no. It was trying to convince everybody that Nickelback sucks. Now, where I was, it was a work camp, or as I tried to explain to the guards, slave labor. And they'd be like, this ain't slave labor, boy. You got a choice. Which is true, you can choose not to work there. But if you do that, they'll send you to prison where you get anally raped. Now, I've heard there are things in life that are worse than death. And I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that being anally raped while listening to Nickelback is one of those things. So I got out of jail. My friends wanted to do something nice for me. They wanted to take me to a titty bar. And I just didn't want to go. Now look, don't get me wrong. I like the idea of 19-year-old damaged goods showing their tits on a pole. But what I can't stomach is females pursuing an education. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I really just don't like my grandmother. She sucks. Like, for instance, it's 2012, and she still calls black people darkies. Yeah, it's fucked up. And I talked to my mom about it, and she's like, quit yelling at your grandmother. She's from a different time. She's old school. I'm like, no, Mom, you're confusing old school with old racist cunt. We went shopping the other day. My mom walks off, leaves me with my grandmother, who then takes me aside and goes, Joe, I noticed you have long hair. Is that because you're a homosexual? And look, I wish I could describe the look that came into her dead, lifeless eyes when I explained to her that my long hair shows my affinity for shooting up heroin and not, deliciously erect male penises. I'm like, Grandma, where'd you even come up with that idea? Tom Cruise hasn't had long hair since fucking Interview with the Vampire. But seriously, I think she made that shit up. Like, that's just my grandmother's nice, polite, old way of calling her grandson a faggot. So, if I was going to tell you guys a story about a guy who stays awake for almost a week, just building shit, putting stuff together, making things, and after about a week, he just passes out cold. What drug do you think he's on? Meth. Crystal methamphetamine. Alright, and yet I'm the asshole for pointing out in my Sunday school class last week how to me, Genesis 1 looks like God's meth lab blew up, creating the Big Bang, and then for the next 6 days, he's just like tweaking, trying to put it all back together. So we got an election coming up, a pretty important election, and I was talking to my dad about it, and the thing is, he doesn't like Mitt Romney, but he really doesn't like Obama. So what he's going to do is vote for Mitt Romney, who he doesn't like, so that Obama will definitely not win. I'm like, Dad, that's kind of like letting your uncle molest you so that your father can't. And those aren't even the only two options. And come on, Republicans, Mitt Romney, no fucking way is that guy going to win. Because look, if life has taught me one thing, like one unalterable, steadfast maxim that applies to all people at all times, it's that once you go black, you don't go back. America just needs to accept the fact that from now on, it's going to be a large black dick being rammed into our asses. And look, as I mentioned before, guys, I've been to jail. I know. It only hurts that first time. And look at the bright side, guys. We've already gotten over that hurdle. All right, thank you. That's my time.